Hi, my name is Adam from adamsautoadvice.com, and this is how to replace a battery. As you can see, this battery is bad. I marked it with an X. It says bad. How do you know whether a battery is bad? Well, there are a couple of ways. You can test the battery with a specialized battery tester, which I have at work, or you can usually tell if there's a lot of white corrosion around the battery terminals. That usually means your battery is starting to go or there's a bad cell. Now if you see, this is an MT34 battery and it says 700 cold crank amps. And when I hooked it up to the battery tester, the battery really came under about 500 cold crank amps. Now it's important when replacing a battery to obviously make sure you have the correct one. As you can see, this one is an MT34. Now for tools, it's pretty basic. All you need is a 11 or 10 socket, and a ratchet, and a screwdriver, and I'll show you what that's for in a second. Now it's good to keep in mind, before replacing your battery, you can hook it up to a memory saver, which will hook up to your OBD2. That connector is usually under your dash, and you can get these memory savers at most auto parts stores, but that's really only important if you have memory seats, if you want to keep your preset radio stations, things like that. With this car, I'm not so much worried about it. There are a few things to keep in mind when replacing a battery. First of all, always remove the negative cable first, not the positive cable. If you try and remove the positive cable first, you're going to be in for a little bit of a surprise. Also, keep the batteries vertical at all times. Don't tip them over. Try not to, move them in at angles, things like that, because you don't want battery acid getting on you, on your vehicle, anywhere, into the environment. It's just not safe. It's dangerous. Okay, now we're ready to remove the battery. So just undo the bolt. Move the negative cable first, like I said. And you're good. Now do the positive cable. You don't need to remove the bolts all the way, just enough to get it off. Sometimes they can be a little stubborn. That's why I like having a screwdriver to just move it, get it up. There you go. Now the battery is off. Okay, now that both terminals are loose, you also want to be aware, a lot of times there are hold downs, like there for this battery. Sometimes they're over the battery. You also need to remove those before getting the battery out. Okay, now it's time to remove the battery hold down. It's pretty tight. It's been a while since the battery's been changed. Okay, now it's time to remove the battery. I removed the hold down, as you can see, this little piece here. And like I said, just keep the battery straight up and down. It's important to recycle your old batteries. Most auto parts stores recycle batteries for free, and many municipalities will recycle old batteries as well. Okay, now we're ready to install the new battery. Now it's important, like I said, to make sure the battery is straight up and down and that you're putting it in where the correct terminals go. So, there. Now you want to be careful, batteries are heavy and they're quite difficult to maneuver in on some cars, and it can all depend on what type of vehicle you have. Now for reconnecting the terminals to the battery, you actually want to do the reverse. First, you do positive, negative goes second. You do not want to do negative, then positive. If you do negative first, then positive, you're bridging the connection, the electrical connection, and you'd be creating a bad situation for yourself. So we're just going to reconnect positive. Make sure it's tight. This is one part of the car. Then you do negative. And the final step is just to turn on your car and make sure everything is running and working well. And lastly, I am Adam of Adam's Auto Advice, and this is how to replace a car battery.